right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
High-tech training for police officers.
I've seen drones as a really big way of being help with that situational awareness.
A look at the drones joining the force.
The heat is building. Triple-digit heat indices return to the area this weekend. How long that sultry weather is expected to last.
Our top story tonight, two couples robbed at gunpoint just hours apart near downtown St. Louis.
I think it's horrible. I think it's scary, and I don't think that anybody should have to worry about that.
Tonight, police are still looking for the robbers in both of those crimes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson. The holdups happened in the past 24 hours in the downtown West area near popular Washington Avenue.
Investigators say around 5 Friday morning, a 44-year-old woman and a 45-year-old man were sitting in their car near 16th and Pine in the downtown West area. The couple told police out of the blue 3 men they'd never seen before approached them, announced a robbery, and pulled out guns. The robbers stole the woman's cell phone and quickly took off. Hours before, just a couple blocks away, a 32-year-old woman and a 31-year-old man told police shortly after 2 Thursday morning they were outside smoking in the parking lot of their home in the 1700 block of Washington Avenue. Within moments, the victim said 4 males pulled up in a black car. 3 of the guys wore masks. Police say all 4 hopped out of the car and whipped out guns. The couple said the robbers went through their pockets, stole their wallets, cell phone, and a car key, and then sped off.
I think it's horrible. I think it's scary, and I don't think that anybody should have to worry about that, especially where they reside.
Kelly King has lived in the downtown West area for 3 years.
I mean, a lot of people come down here. There's hotels down here, and so a lot of people are, vacationers, and that's sad. That's really sad.
Police say the victims in both crimes were not hurt. Investigators are still trying to figure out if the same guys committed both armed robberies.
It is shocking, especially because it happens right outside my doors.
Madison Patrick just moved into a loft building on Washington Avenue a month ago. She says overnight, burglars entered the unlocked gate and broke into at least 4 cars, including her boyfriend's. Thieves shattered the rear window on his car.
Since we just moved, we have some boxes and stuff, so we have to recount, but for sure I know a fishing bowl was stolen.
At this point, just exasperation. At a certain point, you just get burnt out about it.
Now, according to 5 on Your Side data, so far this year, there have been 29 shootings downtown, 2 of those homicides, 19 shootings in the downtown West area, 5 of those homicides. Now, if you know anything about the latest armed robberies that happened out here in this area, call St. Louis Police. Live in the downtown West area, Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
A woman was found shot in her car this afternoon outside a North County post office. St. Louis County Police tell us the victim was going south on Dunklin Drive when someone in another car opened fire. Police found the victim on Dunn and Lilac Road. She was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. If you know anything about this shooting, you're asked to call police or you can call Crime Stoppers, 866-371-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. A woman is facing murder charges after a deadly shooting in Cahokia Heights Wednesday. The major case squad was deployed to Maple Tree Lane after police found a 68-year-old man had been shot to death in his home. Veronica Turley was taken into custody and charged today with 1 count of first-degree murder. She's being held at the St. Clair County Jail. Expect a hot and humid weekend, and some spotty showers aren't out of the question either. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell here with our weather impact forecast.
Yeah, the weather is going to have an impact for us this weekend as we heat up. The showers and thunderstorms that popped up this afternoon, very isolated, but we did have that flash flood warning. Eastern portions of Washington County in Illinois, east of Nashville, east of the Washington County Fair, they have all died. Everything has diminished, but there is still some unsettled weather out to our west. We're trying to make that transition back to a hot pattern. Yes, it was hot today. It's going to get hotter into this weekend, and that transition gives us the spot rain chances into Saturday. Otherwise, it's mainly dry, and the heat really builds Sunday into Monday. So that has a weather impact because we get the heat, we get the humidity together. That makes for dangerous heat. heat with the heat index values from 100 to 105 degrees. We'll really realize that come Monday. We think that's going to be the worst of it. So drink plenty of water. That's what you can do. Limit your physical activity outside. Use that air conditioning and make sure you're seeing your neighbors, grandma, grandpa, make sure they're using the air conditioning or at least able to spend some time in air conditioning. Stay out of the sun and don't forget your kids and pets. We want to keep them safe and out of cars, especially with this kind of heat that's going to be bearing down on us. We'll see you in a few minutes, Kelly.
All right, Scott. New tonight, a crime-fighting tool created by a former St. Louis police officer. It involves drones and using artificial intelligence to solve crime and keep you safe. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon is here to explain how that former police officer hopes it makes a difference in his own hometown.
You know, Kelly, as local police battle shortages and ongoing crime, that former officer is taking a step back from his profession in order to help his profession. And he believes his solution is the wave of the future.
Especially downtown, we've had a lot of issues with, big, large groups at night at, 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's why former police officer Christian Johnson has a plan.
These are the controllers right here.
Train police officers and other first responders on how to use drones, offering a high-flying extra set of eyes to do the job.
This is really good for like night flying when officers are looking for suspects.
That's not all.
Firefighters who need to have an overhead vision of fires.
He created the company Respond AI, training off-duty first responders who want to gain extra skills to make them more valuable for their respective agencies.
You even see who's approaching that's not in your line of sight.
Exactly.
He remembers fighting crime and wishing he had a tool like this.
And we're looking for a suspect that's armed in a field and we don't have eyes on them.
There's another aspect of his company.
This is actually homicides from the past month.
He created this crime analysis software called Metis
to understand crime trends, be able to predict where crime will happen next.
It incorporates artificial intelligence.
Can you tell me about this location?
Watch how it responds.
The city played a critical role during the westward expansion.
Johnson considers the technology a game changer to take keeping the public safe to higher heights.
Integrating things like drones, smart body cameras, more information about the location, that is really the future, a smart future.
So far, Respond AI has trained about 50 first responders. The goal is to help them get FAA certified. The company is now reaching out to entire agencies to help them establish or strengthen their drone programs.
Thanks, Brent. Today, the Missouri Supreme Court overruled a motion to vacate the murder conviction of Marcellus Williams. Williams has spent 24 years on death row for the murder of former Post-Dispatch reporter Felicia Gale. St. Louis County prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell filed a motion in January to overturn Williams' conviction, saying there is no DNA evidence linking him to the crime. Bell released a statement today saying, quote, "Our focus is on the motion we filed before the 21st Judicial Circuit and the effort to have our concerns about the conviction of Mr. Williams heard in court," end quote. Williams' execution date is scheduled for late September. Today, Alderman Rasheen Aldridge sponsored a bill that would remember Michael Brown with a downtown street named in his honor. Board Bill 69 would affect a portion of Tucker Road between Clark Avenue and Market Street, right by City Hall. That section of road would be renamed to Michael O.D. Brown Way. The bill comes as we approach the 10-year anniversary of Michael Brown's death. At least 60% of registered voters living on that street and business owners operating there would need to sign a petition in support of the name for the bill to pass.
Staying in the race.
You, the voters, you decided, no one else, and I'm not going anywhere.
How the Biden campaign is staying firm over candidacy concerns.
Your motion to dismiss with prejudice is granted.
Case dismissed. Why Alec Baldwin is walking free tonight. Summertime safety. We verify claims that'll help make your next trip to the pool a safer one.
The worst of this next heat wave arrives by the end of the weekend. The impacts on your weekend plans and how long the toasty temperatures stick around.
President Biden vowed to stay in the presidential race even as some prominent Democrats are asking him to step aside. Biden's back on the campaign trail now. After a press conference Thursday, he hoped it would boost voter confidence in his ability to beat former President Trump.
I think it's self-evident right now, with almost 20 members have come out saying, I think we need a different nominee, that the caucus is not united.
I'm asking us to step away from the love and the loyalty and just say that the numbers suggest that we're going to lose.
Many Democratic lawmakers have expressed their hopes, though, to get a handle on the situation before the Republican National Convention, where former President Trump indicates he may announce his pick for vice president. And for the latest on the upcoming election, keep it here on 5 on Your Side. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is headed to the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. He'll have daily reports next week at 10 p.m.
Your motion to dismiss with prejudice is granted.
This is the scene in the courtroom earlier this evening when Alec Baldwin's manslaughter case was thrown out. Baldwin faced involuntary manslaughter charges after the fatal shooting of cinema photographer Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust. The judge dismissed the case, siding with Baldwin's lawyers, who claim prosecutors hid evidence about the ammunition used on set.
I respect the court's decision. I think that people can disagree. I'm disappointed because I believe that the importance of the evidence was misconstrued by the defense attorneys.
If Baldwin had been convicted, he would have faced 18 months in prison. The case cannot be filed against him again. Are you heading to the pool this weekend? While it may be a good way to beat the heat, swimming often comes with its own dangers. Ariane Till with the National Verify team is here with some verified pool safety tips.
It's hot outside, and that means people are looking for ways to cool off. Splashing around in the pool is a popular choice for many families. But before you jump in, Verify is answering several common questions about swimming pool safety using these sources. First up, do arm floaties or inflatable flotation devices prevent a child from drowning? No, they don't. The CDC says floaties, armbands, or water wings do not prevent children from drowning and can easily slip off, especially when kids jump into the water. Swim instructors warn against using floaties because they restrict a child's arm movements and align a child in a vertical position, which is known as the drowning position. The Goldfish Swim School says a child who thinks that staying vertical in the water is the correct posture will be in severe danger if they enter the pool without floaties. The National Drowning Prevention Alliance recommends swimming with a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket instead. Next, can pool drains be dangerous if you swim too close to them? Yes, they can be. Pool safety advocacy group Collins Hope warns drain covers that are cracked, broken, or not up to standard could lead to serious safety issues, including hair and body parts becoming entrapped in pool drains or held down by suction. 9 people died and 65 other injuries were reported between 1999 and 2007 as a result of drains in pools, hot tubs, spas, and whirlpools, according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Since then, pool safety standards have become more strict. In 2008, the Virginia Graham-Baker Pool and Spa Safety Act went into effect and requires all drains to have covers and additional new protections to prevent drain entrapments. And finally, does chlorine cause your eyes to turn red? Yes, it does. But it's not the only thing in the water that contributes to red eyes. When chlorine binds to the body waste swimmers bring into the pools, like urine, poop, sweat, dirt, and skin cells, it can form chemicals called chloramines. The CDC says chloramines can irritate eyes, skin, and even the respiratory tract. The Cleveland Clinic recommends wearing goggles while swimming to protect eyes from chlorine-related irritation. If eye redness persists for several hours after swimming in a pool, contact your doctor. We have even more pool safety tips on our website, verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Do you have any summer safety questions you would like us to verify? Just send us an email. It's verify@ksdk.com. Today, the Missouri Department of Conservation turned a battle against an invasive species into a science experiment. Crayfish have plagued Tower Grove Park for years now. And to help get them out of the ecosystem, the department held a class for all ages, teaching them about native versus non-native crayfish species, how to trap them, and what's next for these crustaceans. They even tested which baits and cages work best on the population.
We've had this going for 2 years running now. The first year we caught like 300 something crayfish. The second year we caught right around 450 crayfish. It's a lot of crayfish. It's a lot of crayfish. So our goal is to remove as much crayfish as we can and learn something from it.
And they won't go to waste. According to the Department of Conservation, most of today's catch will be turned into fish bait. Fresh from the Jersey County Fair, he is back into the studio, and Scott Connell is here with a look at our weather impact weekend forecast.
Yeah, it is going to be hot out at the Jersey County Fair for the next couple of days. Of course, you have tomorrow, you have Sunday, and they have events going on. And of course, things get started 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Should be mainly dry. We've seen a few of those isolated showers and thunderstorms that percolated during the late afternoon, early evening, just kind of fall apart. The heaviest rain was off to the southeast of St. Louis, but there was one cell that popped up right up over downtown St. Louis. It's gone now, and we're mostly clear to partly cloudy. 81 degrees, feels like it's 83. The dew point 65, 93 for the high today. Our feels like temperature, our heat indices this afternoon, we're running in the mid-90s around St. Louis. One of the problems we have when it starts getting hot like this is we don't cool off all that much at night. Outlying areas close to 70, low to mid-70s in town. There is a chance as we head towards the wee hours tomorrow morning that we're going to pop a couple of isolated showers or thunderstorms. Seems like the better chance for that would once again be from the St. Louis area onto the south and southwest. We've seen those percolate during the early morning hours the last couple of days. But as the hot air really tries to nudge in here, the odds of us seeing rain during the afternoon or evening hours pretty low for your Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. We're going back into the low and mid 90s again tomorrow. The humidity levels still not excessive, but they are creeping up. And again, your rain chances really first thing in the morning and then again early afternoon. The heat index does come into play here. It's going to be around 100 or slightly above during the afternoon, early evening hours in St. Louis. So you'll definitely want to be getting lots of water, staying hydrated, taking those breaks, not overexerting yourself. It gets even warmer on Sunday, mid to upper 90s. We're close to 100 on Monday. With the humidity in play, that's going to push those heat index values close to 104, 105 degrees in St. Louis. So that's getting close to a heat advisory criteria for Sunday afternoon and likely to continue into Monday. So with the high heat, the high humidity, that dangerous heat builds, what can you do? Well, drink lots of water. Limit your physical activity outside, use the air conditioning, stay in it as much as you can, and stay out of the sun as much as you can. 94 for the high tomorrow, 97 on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, yes, the heat's still with us. Monday, the overnight lows from Sunday night into Monday morning, and then again on Tuesday morning, we're only around 80 degrees. That is where the heat can really catch up to you. So going into Monday and Tuesday, we'd be more concerned about heat-related illnesses trying to develop. It's something we'll be monitoring over the weekend for a potential weather impact alert for you. And then on Tuesday evening into Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to bring some rain in here and drop those temperatures back a little below average.
Okay.
So the heat doesn't last for an extended period
Thank
of time.
goodness.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Corey Miller's here with sports.
It was sure hot over at Busch Stadium today.
Yes.
I know that.
Boy.
And the Cardinals' kryptonite struck again tonight at Busch. Native NFL star draws inspiration from a former St. Louis Rams great, and City SC is back at home this weekend. Stick around, sports is up next.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
In the last 2 months or so, the Cardinals have done a tremendous job to climb back into relevance in the National League. Now, with the All-Star break looming, there is no time to lose focus. It's going to be a steamy 4 games against the Cubs this weekend, and the Cardinals face their kryptonite on the mound in Game 1. Coming into tonight, Kyle Hendricks had an ERA of 7.5 this year. But with a career 13-4 record against the Cardinals, you can throw all those other stats out the window. Let's talk Sonny Gray first. The Cardinals starter was pretty good tonight. Here was one of just a few mistakes. That bullet from Dansby Swanson made it 2-0 Cubs in the 4th inning. Really didn't matter how many runs Sonny Gray gave up tonight because Hendricks was sensational against St. Louis again. Strike him out, throw him out, 4th inning over. Weak Arenado grounder back to the mound, 7th inning over. Hendricks did not throw a pitch over 90 miles per hour tonight. No problem. 7 shutout innings, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts. Cardinals finally got on the board thanks to an RBI single from Paul Goldschmidt in the 9th. They still lose 5-1. This week, I went down to Springfield to check in with some future hurlers for the Cardinals. Lefty Quinn Matthews was one of those arms. He's gone from Palm Beach to Peoria to Springfield in just his first year in the system. This upcoming week, he'll be in the MLB Futures game. Matthews' stats are eye-popping, but so is his durability. He once threw 156 pitches in a game for Stanford.
But in terms of durability, my best friends and I growing up, we were always like the young guys in the groups that we played baseball with. So we kind of always had to throw as hard as we could, and we were throwing as often as we could. And basically it was like throw as hard as you can, as often as you can, as much as you can. And if you blow out, fix it. Throughout my lifetime, I've always thrown a lot, and it's just giving me the opportunity to stay healthy. And I mean, the biggest thing in sports is health and being available. So if you're always available, then you're going to get your opportunities, hopefully.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC will be back at City Park tomorrow hosting the Vancouver Whitecaps. City will be looking for their 2nd straight win in front of the home supporters. Last weekend in Colorado was a disappointing 4-1 loss that kept City 12th out of the 14 teams in the Western Conference. With all their injuries, players have been called on to step up in new roles. Nokby Thorson is one of those players. He's had his share of flashes from the striker position lately.
It's fun for me to keep improving in that position, and Klaus has been watching every game and helping me a lot, giving me tips, and yeah, I scored, and there was a lot of thanks to him because he gave me a lot of, yeah, like I said, a lot of tips and a lot of help. So it's been fun.
One of our town's most impressive current pro athletes was back home today. Vianney grad Kyron Williams was back in town, helping give back to local kids at Dick's Sporting Goods. Williams had over 1,000 yards rushing and scored 15 total touchdowns for the Rams last year. And to no surprise, he had a St. Louis legend as a childhood idol.
Just rooting for the St. Louis Rams, it was hard not to like Steven Jackson. And so as a kid, that's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be the guy scoring the touchdowns, running the ball, making people miss, running them over, you know, just getting that energy for the team. And so then when I watched him play as a young kid, I grew to him. You know, I was able to see his game, translate the game, and be able to just go play my game the same kind of way he did.
It was UFL Showcase Day at Missouri Baptist. League's St. Louis workout for prospective players had the man leading the Battlehawks on the field checking things out. Here's what Coach Anthony Becht had to say about already looking to build next season's roster in St. Louis.
In order to win the championship, to reach those goals, we have to make necessary changes to get to where we need to be. So I love my players, I love my core guys. But again, everybody gets evaluated. I get evaluated. Everybody gets, the staff gets evaluated, in particular the players.
That'll do it for sports.
All right, thank you, Corey. Still to come, a cute and cuddly cafe truck. How a fictional icon is celebrating a half-century in St. Louis. Maybe hard to believe, but Hello Kitty is turning 50 this year. And to celebrate, she's rolling into St. Louis this weekend. The wildly popular Hello Kitty Cafe bus is making a pit stop in St. Louis, and it's rolling out all new merch. You can catch it outside the West County Center at Restaurant Village from 10 to 7. The truck will then continue its nationwide tour, heading southeast to Atlanta. Hello Kitty was created in 1974 and made her television debut in the 80s. All right.
I feel old.
I know. If Hello Kitty is 50,
yeah.
We're old.
All right. And, you know, Hello Kitty's coming back with some heat. Temperatures are going to be around 90 in the outlying areas tomorrow, in the 90s in town. It'll feel like it's around 100 tomorrow. It'll feel like it's between 100 and 105 for most of us Sunday, and a little above 100 going into Monday and Tuesday as the humidity increases. Storms should cool us off, though.
105, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think
That's not bad. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon is next.